And the masters of the universe.
Fabulous secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword and said,
By the power of Grayskull,
Alright guys, so we opened up this back workout with lat pull downs, which for me are an absolute necessity or staple, bread and butter exercise of any back routine. They're perfect because they work both the width of the back, so when you do like a lat spread, you get that nice broad shape to your back, but they also work a good amount of the thickness of the back, the center of the back, okay? And so they create that, that Ronnie Coleman old man muscle that it looks so thick that if you put your fist into it, it will just swallow it whole. You get that through lat pull downs, and you can never really do enough of them. There's something that you can just keep pounding away at. Ronnie Coleman, for example, believed in just doing multiple sets of 10. No matter what the weight was, you go for sets of 10. You just keep going and going and going. So it's great for volume work also, which is what I did here. I actually opened up off camera with 5 sets of 16 on 65 pounds. Pretty lightweight, but that adds up, all those, what is about 80 reps, just as a kind of warm-up, if you wish. And then I moved on, to slightly heavier weights, but then I went on to what you're seeing here, which is a giant set, which is where you mix multiple sets on different weights on the same exercise together, but with 0 rest in between those weight exchanges. And for this workout, I opened up with 130 pounds, moved down to 100 and then 65. And you try to keep the reps high. Ideally you're getting lighter, right? You should be doing more and more reps the lighter it gets, but the fatigue just really kicks in. And you'll be surprised at how much this hits the muscle and how much you'll ache after it also. It's a great way of getting all your volume work in that you need to do in one single exercise. Next, we moved on to what I call rhomboid pull downs. I suppose a better descriptive term for it would be close grip, reverse grip pull downs. But for me, I call them rhomboid pull downs because these focus on the center of the back. So like I was saying before, the Ronnie Coleman backs where, the thickness of the muscle is so intense, right? It looks like a big slab of T-bone beef, right? Well, this is essentially what helps create these kind of movements, your T-bar rows, and to some extent the bent over rows if they're close grip and stuff. But it's this particular movement that I like to do, which does stimulate the rhomboid muscles, which are the center of the back. They're sort of on the inside and lower parts of the scapula, okay, or the shoulder blade. And what I like to do is I just like to mix around the way that I do it. So I might start off with just doing normal reps, just pulling it down, but then here, as you can see now, I like to mix in some heavy duty style reps also. Just keeps the muscle guessing, and it hits it with different types of intensities. Now, this is one of my favourite movements. It's not something I've done all too often. It's easy to do on a cable machine, but I actually set up here with the bands because I don't have a cable machine. And this is basically like a row, what I was mentioning earlier, but it's a wide grip row. You can see my hands are as far apart as you can get on this bar. And one of the advantages of doing it prone, so most of the time you do bent over rows with an Olympic bar bent over, right? And this, you create the resistance by just slapping weight onto the bar. It's a great way of doing it, but the problem is sometimes it's easy to cheat because you can move, although look at that. I'm not exactly doing this particularly strict either, but one of the great parts of this is that it doesn't stress the lower back like it does with standing, so you can shift a lot of weight and resistance like I'm doing there, but without any of the sort of drawbacks of doing it. So it's a particular one that I enjoy doing. Now this last movement is essentially a low body row. Again, I've set it up with bands but using a D-bar. attachment as you see there. This particular exercise, I weren't necessarily going to do it. I felt finished by the time I got to here, but when I started the workout, this is something that I wanted to do. So I set it up and did it anyway. I opened my eyes a little bit really, because this is, I get up to 240 pounds on here, and I still handle it with relative ease, which is a bit of a problem in some ways, because I can't really expand upon this. It's sort of the maximum resistance I can kind of get to, or down close to it anyway. And so for me, what I'm going to have to do is try and do this exercise at the end of every back workout, because if I'm doing this whilst fatigued after all the other work that you've seen, well, how the hell am I going to do it at the beginning of the workout in a way that's going to really hit me, because the resistance is just going to be so low, right, comparatively. Anyway guys, this is everything I did during this workout. It was a big one, it was a long workout in that sense, because I did a lot of sets and I did a lot of exercises. Normally I like to keep it a bit more focused. I like to do 2-3 exercises, normally 3 exercises, and I like to do one working set on each one, a bit like Mike Mensa. He would do one set over the entire workout, but I do 1 set per exercise, and as I say, I like to get sort of 3 exercises in, because by doing that, you're hitting the muscle at different angles, and you're 100% utilizing the entire width and length of the muscle, and as a result, stimulating the most growth and development of strength. But sometimes it's nice to change things around. I am in my light phase at the moment, or my fitness phase, so doing more reps and sets and stuff kind of comes into it. And with back, I've got such a big back anyway, a really strong back. I kind of have to work that little bit extra harder with it to get something out of it. So anyway guys, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Go in the comments, talk to me, tell me about your workout. Let's have a chin wag, right? But in the meantime, I wish you the best of luck. Ta-ta and goodbye for now. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.